Today's video I'm going to cover a mini review of the new Olight Seeker 3 Pro here that I have in orange, as well as the new Obag, which I will show you in a minute. It is a free gift if you spend over a certain amount on the flash sale here. You've got the Ember O-Pin, which is a special edition Olight i3T to support Breast Cancer Foundation, and a OD Green special edition i3E that is a free gift if you log into your account during the flash sale. This video is in support of Olight's October flash sale, which starts October 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. As usual, this is the best time to grab new items as well as some of your favorites for the largest discounts and to help support my channel at the same time. A link to the sale is in the description, and thanks for Olight to send these things to me to take a quick look at. Instead of doing a full review on the Seeker 3 Pro like I might normally do, I'm going to cover the main differences between the older Seeker 2 Pro that I have here in black and the new Seeker 3 Pro that I've got inside the orange case here. The two largest differences is the move from a triple LED on the Seeker 2 to a quad LED on the Seeker 3 and the new button arrangement here. I'll insert a few pictures here of what the packaging looks like and what you get with the light itself. Most notably, it comes with this nice orange case, which I just really like the look of. It's got a nice clasp there, Olight. It does have a button and belt loop there. It's a nice bright orange case, especially if you like orange. I assume other colors of cases come with other colors of lights. Build quality is good here. It's up to Olight standards. There's no noticeable flaws, and the new light is just slightly longer and slightly heavier, although it does feel more heavy towards the front end of the light than the Seeker 2 does. Let's talk about the performance here. As mentioned before, the Seeker 3 Pro is using 4 LEDs. It's using OSRAM P9s, which are the same as the Seeker 2, and 6,000 to 7,000 Kelvin cool white. They just added one more LED here. The beam is a bit more floody, but with an increase in the LEDs, you see an increase in output from turbo from 3,000 lumens to 4,200 lumens without a decrease in runtimes. Runtimes are pretty much the same. The other modes of moon, low, medium, and high are all the exact same output as what the Seeker 2 Pro is. So that is 5, 50, 300, 1200, and then turbo is 4200 lumens. The turbo is that largest bump. It's 3000 to 4200 lumens, and the throw slightly increases by 30 meters on the Seeker 3 Pro to 250 meters. Here are my night shots for the Olight Seeker 3 Pro. I've got it in low here, 50 lumens. We can see it lights into my stairs just fine. Barely hits the end of the fence here. Here is medium mode, 300 lumens. Does a better job of what the beam is. Remember, this is those 4 OSRAM P9 LEDs about between 6,000 and 7,000 Kelvin. We can see here it's a rather floody beam, but doesn't go that far. Here is high, 1200 lumens. This is getting into the power of the light. If I pan up, you can see the tree here does a nice job of filling that out. And here is turbo, full 4200 lumens, quite bright, blows out the fence nearby, and it gets to the distance there of the 250 meters of those trees across the way there, no problem. I'm using the dial on it now to dial down the brightness. In addition to those main modes, you can dial this thing to exactly the output you want, as you can see here, but it does take a while to get down to the bottom there. So I'll go back up again. I believe it's something like 7 turns the dial to get you from full low to full high. So here is the Seeker 2 Pro. This is full 3000 lumens versus the Seeker 3 Pro 4200. We can see they look a little bit different in beam characteristics. The Seeker 3 Pro is a little bit more floody compared to the Seeker 3 Pro. You can tell a difference between the outputs, more obvious to the eye than it is to the camera here. As far as distance, they're very, very comparable. And the Seeker 3 Pro does have strobe. So I'd say if you've got a Seeker 2 Pro, it isn't a huge upgrade for the Seeker 3 Pro, but if you don't have either, it's a good general purpose light that I quite like. UI is really where this light is different here. You can see it does have the indicators on the outside. You've got your power indicators there on the right hand side, and then you've got your brightness indicators on the left hand side. Then in the button, instead of just a normal button, you do have this dial that spins, and this is where things start to get interesting here. So the first couple things you should know is you do have the traditional Olight UI here. So once the light is on, you can press and hold and it will cycle through the 4 modes of low, medium, high, like you're used to normally seeing. Double press to go to turbo. It does have the proximity sensor here that you see come into play. As I get my hand closer, it steps down. You can override that. When it's stepped down, you can double click and you can go up to manual turbo, which is nice to see there. So that stuff's all normal. You then have the wheel here, which as I adjust, as I spin it here, you can see the light will decrease in brightness. It takes 7 full turns to go from the lowest mode possible to the highest mode with the spinner here. And it only goes up to high. You've got to double click to go to turbo again there, like we just did, and that proximity sensor is pretty active there. The thing I do not like on this is the auto lockout feature. So after 30 seconds, the touchpad here is auto locked out. And let me pause for that to lock out and I'll show you what happened. Okay, so it's been 30 seconds here, so let's take a look here. The light is locked out. I've done nothing to put it in lockout. That's just what it does by default. And that's kind of the problem. To unlock, you have to spin this dial 90 degrees. So I'll start here at the top and go down and show you. At this point, I can press the button. So if I start here at the top and spin 90 degrees, really 180 I find works just easier. 90 doesn't always work. It's got to be pretty precise 90. The light will come on. At that point, it works normally. You can use the dial to scroll up or scroll down in brightness. Works pretty simply there. This auto lockout feature, I think, is just fumbly, and it leads to an extra step or two when you're trying to use the light, whether you want to go up or down. None of your modes work. I think that proximity sensor there that you can see at the top there is all you need for the safety aspect of it. So this won't come on in your pocket or something like that and get super hot enough to do damage. That proximity sensor takes care of that. So this auto lockout is something that I wish you could just disable on this light. Recharging here is very similar as before. You've got your magnetic charging pad here. This works with the latest Olight magnetic chargers, one of which is included in the box here. Charging time from empty to full takes about 3.5 hours or so, 3.5 hours. And typical with my charging monitoring system here, it does not like the Olight charging systems, so I can't produce a full output graph. There is no LDOC that's included with this, but I suspect the one from the Seeker 2 Pro will work just fine. So my conclusion on the Seeker 3 Pro is it's a larger upgrade in performance than I was expecting. That said, it's not game-changing. Turbo is noticeably brighter, but in terms of performance or throw, it's very similar. It's a very similar beam shape of being very floody, and it only goes an extra 30 meters in distance, so not that noticeable that we saw from my night shots there. I don't care for this dial input here. I just don't think it's needed on the light itself. While it is kind of cool to make infinite adjustments, a ramping UI, kind of like what Andrel has, I think is a better overall solution here. 7 turns to go all the way around to adjust is a lot. That's a lot of spinning. I'm afraid that detent ball is going to wear out inside here. I just don't like it myself. In addition to that auto lockout feature, I think here is really not a great design. I wish you could disable it. I'd be fine with that if it shipped that way, and then you could disable it, but at least for now there doesn't appear to be a way to disable that. That said, the proximity sensor here works great. I think Olight's learned a lot on their previous lights that had the proximity sensors, and this does fantastic here. It does exactly what you want it to. See there, I just couldn't turn it on because that stupid auto lock here. But once it's on, you can see that proximity sensor works great. And they took everybody's feedback about being able to override it seriously, so you can make it work. That's all you need in terms of safety and muggle proofing this light to give it to your non-light friends. So that's kind of my opinion there. So overall, I'd say if you have a Seeker 2 Pro, this isn't a necessary upgrade. I'd say if you're a first-time buyer, I wouldn't shy away from this one. Pick whichever one you can get at the best price and the best color material that you like. That said, these Olight flash sales are going to be the best time to pick up these newer lights. Olight usually runs fantastic sales or bundles, and I know the Seeker 3 Pro is going to be in on that, especially in orange here, kind of for like a Halloween sale. So if you don't have one or you love orange flashlights, I wouldn't shy away from this one. It's decent as long as you can train yourself to use that auto lock feature. So as I mentioned, the Olight sale starts October 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and runs till midnight on October 29th. Everyone who logs in during the flash sale will receive this OD Green i3E. This happens to be the UV edition. You'll just get the normal edition. I just happen to have this i3E in OD Green, so I wanted to show you what that looks like. It is a AAA keychain light, and it's pretty decent. Quite a bit of fun here, especially in the OD Green, I think. Next up is the Obag Sport here, and I've got a picture of it that I'll insert of me wearing it. This is a kind of a heavier duty nylon bag. It's not really heavy duty, but it's better than your average bag. It's got handles, which is kind of nice here. The instructions say it is water resistant, which is kind of nice. It's made out of nylon and lycra. On the inside, it does have a zippered pouch here, which is kind of nice to keep smaller items like keys or something like that in there. It does have straps here that are padded, as well as a plastic insert to keep them together. This isn't a super high quality bag, but it's definitely better than something you'd get like a trade show. It does say Olight Illuminate Your World at the top here, and has a big Olight printing thing on the bottom right hand corner. This bag is a free tier item that you get between $129 to $228, and additionally in that you get a $10 coupon that's good till the end of November for future purchases. Olight has some other free gifts if you spend more, such as the O-Lantern Classic and a Seeker 3 in OD Green. Next flash sale item here is the O-Pen Pro in a limited edition amber color. This has kind of got this red splatter look. I'd call it almost like a blood red. I think it's pretty cool with the black pin here, and this is my first time looking at the O-Pen Pro, and you've seen I've done reviews on the just the normal O-Pen 2 here, and I can tell you a few quick differences between the two. It is a little bit narrower, which I think is great, and it also uses the Olight ballpoint refill. Same size as what was in the O-Pen 2, so it's not a standard size, or not very standard size, but it takes care of the skipping problems that the gel had in the O-Pen 2. It writes just like a Bic pen, so not a huge difference, or not a fantastic writer in my opinion, but it at least it works well. So the differences is you've got your illuminator here in the clip. To get it to turn on, you just click up the bolt action that you use for the pin. To get it to turn on, you've got 3 brightness levels there. When off, if you press and hold, you get a green laser out of the rear of the light, which I think is really cool, and this light's perfect feature. For me, this is a no-brainer. The Olight O-Pen Pro is so much more useful than just the normal O-Pen 2. No-brainer here. Grab this one. Last up is this pink i3T. This is a charity sale to benefit breast cancer, and it is a cool pink light with a white and pink camo anodizing here, kind of like a silver and white. I think it looks pretty cool. You've got darker pink in there, lighter pink, and then the white dots on there. It's only $16.49 during the sale, and proceeds will go to benefit the Breast Cancer Foundation in the USA. I can see this one going to my wife for sure, and I think this would make a nice gift for any of the ladies in your life that might need a flashlight. It's a simple AAA light making 180 lumens with a AAA battery. It's got 2 modes, so low and high. Very, very simple to use, pretty robust and everything. If you do get one of these, I would recommend taking out the alkaline battery that it ships with and replacing it with a nickel metal hydride or lithium primary in it to prevent any corrosion that may occur. As you guys know, alkaline batteries always leak. Olight has other bundle deals available during this flash sale and a bunch of existing products, many available in orange for the first time, like the Fryer and the Drever knife, both in orange and white, the purple Perrin 2, and an all-new Warrior 3. So make sure you check out my link in the description below to the Olight store website so you can check out everything and make a purchase to see your biggest discount on this newly available stuff for the October flash sale. Don't forget that flash sale starts October 28th at 8 p.m. and runs for about 24 hours. As always, thanks for watching these videos and supporting this channel, and I'll catch you on my next review in a few weeks' time. Thanks for watching.